I don't know where my so hi guys, it's been forever since I have been on live. Ooh, since I've been on live. And I definitely want to come in and touch base with my fams, my high elevation family. Excuse my eyes. I've been swimming lately and the Clorox tore my black ass up. So, pardon, pardon the redness of my eyes. Okay. So, today I wanted to get on here and touch base with you guys 'cause I have a few questions. And I'm not a father, so these questions I can't answer, right? Um, I can't give fatherly advice because I'm not a dad. I don't even know what that looks like. I'm a mother. I've raised sons. But again, what I deem is equivalent as me being a father figure, it's never gonna happen, right? Um, so I had different situations, different scenarios, and I just want you guys' honest opinion on it. Okay. All right. I'll always refer to me, um, even if I'm discussing somebody else's business, I'll always discuss or refer to me. Okay. So you'll never have any misunderstandings or mishaps, right? Um, I have a situation where a kid was about 17 years old, almost 18, started dating, getting into the dating thing. Uh, I want to word it right. Okay. Get into the dating thing, and the mother calls the father, hey, I want you to have a conversation with the boyfriend, to do it the right way. 9 times out of 10, the way this dating pool is set up, the way everything is set up, people are not doing it the old school way. They're not introducing parents to parents. They're not they're just not doing that. That's just not a thing, right? I mean, you may catch a few, but I haven't seen any, right? So I want to do it the right way. I want, the energy is supposed to be the correct way. Hey, cool, cool, speak to the parents, speak to the gentleman, the young guy, speak to the young girl, woo, woo, whatever the scenario is, everything was copacetic. Now, both sides, both parents knew of the kids dating. They're 17, damn near 18. I mean, what could we really say, honestly? You don't allow it, they're going to do it regardless, right? So we get into this thing where they've been dating for a while, been dating for a while. It's about maybe 6 months in. And you have an episode where it's a pregnancy scare. Hey, go with me. So you immediately call the father. Hey, we have to have a conversation. Woo, woo, woo. How would that conversation look to you guys? Because I know myself, me being me, the conversation, as a mother, I would need answers. I would want to know when, where, how, the whys, the who's, that's just me being a mom, right? A father's opinion, though, is completely different. So the girl mom, she calls the father. She's like, oh, pregnancy, woo, 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 what can we do? The father immediately, hi, subscriber. Hi, guys. The father immediately, if you're just now chiming in, I'm your cousin, crazy cousin, Lady Ra. This is High Elevation. We talk about everything over here. We talk about a lot of taboo topics. So if cursing makes you cringe, this is not for you. What's up, bro? If the way I present is not what you see fit for yourself, then you're more than welcome. to move right along. I come on here sometimes asking questions, giving advice. I may preach. I may, ain't no telling. Whatever's in my spirit is what I tend to do, right? But today I'm coming on here because I need advice, fatherly advice, right? Because I'm not a father. I wouldn't know where that began or where it started. I'm definitely a mother, okay? Um, you're here. Hi. If you're coming on here to distract me or to be disrespectful, I'm not with none of that. I don't even vibe that low to even entertain you. So please go away, kindly. Anywho, so the mother calls the father. She's like, you telling him a pregnancy scare. What should we do next? Immediately, the father goes into this like deep, like a phase, like a stare, like a deep stare, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm thinking the man's gonna spaz out, anything. Completely hangs up the phone, doesn't say much of anything. Calling back, calling back, calling back, no answer. A month went by. 2 months went by. The child birthday comes. Father days pop up. It's like no answer, no reply, no remarks, no rebuttal. It, I want. Is that the appropriate way to handle things? I thought we get down to the bottom of it. You know, focus on how we're gonna get through some things, but to completely just hear the news, not even the details, not even to see how the kid's doing. You completely just hang up the phone, don't say anything, and just go about your life, normal, regular shit, right? Me personally, that's a problem for me because I don't think that's how that was supposed to be handled. Me being a woman and being a daughter, I would have been offended if my father did that. I would have been offended if I called on the phone and say, "Hey, Dad, I fucked up," right? Because this is how the kid presented it. Listen, I fucked up, and I'm bringing it to you. This is my dilemma. I lost my virginity. This is what it is. What can we do going forward? How do we move going forward, right? I would be offended if my dad hung the phone up on me and just refused to speak to me. That is not the way you do things, right? That is not the appropriate way to do things. And I think because it was done that way, I'm more offended by it. Okay. Um, we say, we want to be there for our kids and we want to do this. I think that was a time where a lesson could have been taught, right? At that very time, that was a time where you're supposed to step up. You're not actively, I feel like you're not actively there um physically because you live miles and miles away. You live in a whole nother state. People only get to see you. Um, People only get to see you, holidays, certain amount of years, whatever, whatever, right? So the time of need when a person calls you to have those conversations, I think you should have stepped up, right? I don't know why y'all insist. There's so many other things that people could be doing in the world, and yet you choose to come on here and bully people. I can't be bullied, so I don't even know why you're trying. Anyhow, so anyway, that was, I think at that time it was supposed to be the time to say, okay, let's have a conversation because first and foremost, sex is natural. It's gonna happen, right? But you want to go into it, um, having them aware. I'm a type. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I will. I refuse to dumb anything down. The world is going to spit our kids up and they're going to eat them up and spit them out when they get out there. The world is wicked, right? It's a wicked place. And you want to keep them 10 toes down. You want to keep them ahead of the game. You want them to know rather than not to know, right? So I keep my kids 10 toes ahead of the game. Mistakes do happen. Things do occur, right? So I felt like he should have gave him a little bit more energy, um, as far as to his daughter, having that conversation with her. So fast forward the story, right? This is the crazy shit. Months have passed, still no communication. Months have went by, still birthdays, holidays, still no communication, right? Then it comes to a point where it literally was just a scare. It literally was just a pregnancy scare. She was not pregnant. She had just lost her virginity, so she was in her head. And sometimes you have to allow them to go through that process, right? You got to allow them when they're going through that. If you go against it, it's like you're against them. So I allowed her to face that, what she had done. I allowed her to face her consequences. This is what it is, right? Hi, Robert. So I allowed her to face her consequences. She's 17. She's about to graduate. So I didn't think her having a boyfriend was a bad thing. I just wanted her to okay, so let me give you the breakdown real quick, Robert. I'm gonna just be transparent. My child is 17. She's in 12th grade. She had a boyfriend. She ended up losing her virginity to this guy. She thought she was pregnant. We call her father. Hey, this is what's going on. What is the advice? What are we doing as parents to move forward? Because this is what's happening right now. Our daughter's going through this. So he completely cut her off. At the time everything was happening, he stopped talking to her, didn't answer the phone. Birthdays, holidays went by, would not, she got a new job. She wanted to call him and should have, could not, did not respond. Now, it was a scare. We went and got her checked, all this. She wasn't pregnant. It was a scare. It was her first time doing anything. So she didn't know. She was in her head, right? But my thing is this is fatherly advice. What would your advice be to your child, to your daughter in that situation? Would it be to completely cut her off? Like I felt like she was shunned from him, shut out. I just don't feel like that's the proper way to do things. And I'm a mother, so I don't know how fathers deal with shit. I don't know how their emotional level is when it comes to that type of thing because I was a foster kid. So I couldn't tell you how my father would have reacted or what. So this was new to her. So I presented it to her father. And he just like cut her off, wouldn't speak to her. And then I'm just like, you gonna call your dad? Like no. So now they're completely not talking. What is the appropriate way to handle something like this? What is the what is the right way? I mean, because there's technically not a right way, but as a father, what would be your advice to my child if this was your kid? So that's the question itself. What advice would you give your teenage daughter? She's 17. She's about to graduate. She's not in the streets and all of that weird shit. She had a boyfriend. They didn't fucked around, found out, right? And this is just what it is. I'm realistic. So now that we got past that point, what would be the protocol for that? Like, what do you? Right. Exactly, Robert. My exact point. So I'm in my head. I'm trying to, cause she's like, ooh, she's crying. She's like, you're gonna be disappointed in me. I mean, the hurt I see that she going through already. It ain't no need of me saying you messed up. Because of the torment that she's putting herself through, she'd already been punished herself. You know what I mean? So I definitely wanted to be there to pick the pieces up. And as a father, that's exactly how I felt it should have been. If your kids are more than they break up, ask they're okay. Period. Just ask them if they're okay. Is there anything that needs to be done? What can we do going forward? How are we processing this? What how are you feeling? Like he didn't even, yeah, he didn't care to ask. He didn't care to ask. He didn't care to, and I'm like, that's so hurtful to my kid. It's like the times that I need you to be right there and boom, you drop the ball. You drop the ball. You got the ball. I do this 365 days out of a year. And the one time that I call and say, hey, I don't think I got the answers to all of this. So I'm going to need you to step up. No, he didn't ask anything. He didn't ask nothing. He looked when she said what she said. They were on video chat. He looked at the phone. He got like this dumb stare on his face and walked away. And the phone mysteriously hung up. After a while, I started trying to reach out. He wouldn't even talk to me as if I'm the issue. I'm raising kids by myself, but I'm the issue. I deal with what I have. I do what I can, what God presents me with, and I make it work for us, right? I can't run behind my kids like I used to. I'm on oxygen. I'm out of work on PTO. I can't. There's certain things that I could do 9 months ago. I can't do right now. You get what I'm saying? So that limits me from. Yeah, he just didn't, and he still hasn't spoke. He hit me like a month ago. How are the kids? These kids damn near grown. Why are you contacting me? They both have iPads, cell phones, laptops, Instagrams. I'm great, young rancher. How are you? Are you lying? Hola. Anyway, um, yeah. So it should be no reason for you to contact me to see how they're doing. Not at all. Another piece of advice, right? So that's the one section of advice. No, she's not. Yeah, exactly. They don't please Robert. Don't even entertain any people. People get on here and just want to bully, and I'm not with none of that. I don't. I don't. At this big ass age, I'm not with none of that. Go and get a life. Go and do something with yourself. You know what I mean? They do weird shit. Yes, thank you, young rancher. I appreciate you, babes. So that was the first piece of advice I needed, right? Because I want to know how that looks to every other father. How would you conduct yourself? Are you approachable for your kids or your child, even if it was a boy? Because I know with my sons, when they first started having kids, my sons are grown. Hi, Deanne. What an attitude. I don't have an attitude. The attitude is I don't take bullshit. I will not deal with bullshit. And if you're on some bullshit, you can get the fuck on. That's just simple shit. Simple mathematics. I'm not even here for all that. So Oko, Locho, whatever. Hi, Mr. Baker. Um, Ocho, Locho, whatever your name is, Papi. Keep it moving. This ain't for you then, Buki. You know? So that was the first section. It's like, how would you handle your child coming to you with something serious that they want to discuss? Do you close them out? I just didn't. I just felt like that was not the appropriate way to do things. I felt like that could have been handled differently. And because it was a scare, you don't know, you could have saved her life at that point if you would have just engaged her. You know what I mean? This ain't even a wig, it's braids. You're goofy. Wait, go away. You gotta. Did I hurt your feelings? Is that why you gonna call me fat next? Like, yeah, like he's bored or she's bored or whoever's behind the page is bored. Um, oh, yeah, I wasn't, baby. I wasn't worried. He's trying to throw insult, right? So it deflects on what I'm talking about, and that's nobody but the devil. Yeah, yo, yeah, just weird. He Listen, weirdos are gonna be weirdos. We have to expect weird shit from weirdos. It's just that simple, right? So, let's see where I was at. So I didn't think that was the appropriate way to handle things. I think it could have been dealt with differently. And in my right mind, I really wanted to cuss him out, like you were supposed to be there for our kids. But I don't do well at being a bitter baby mom. That's just not. Hi, Gracie. Nice to meet you, Gracie, and thank you, baby. Um, so I've never been the type where like a bitter baby mama and and all this. I just don't do that. That's just not my thing. So, but I really, in my wholehearted, wanted to give him a piece of my mind. It's like as a woman and as a daughter, what I would have expected from you, you did not give. You completely failed that mission. Time you up for being Mexican. What? Do I look like Trump? Boy, I don't care about nobody being Mexican. You could be purple, green, blue, orange, Bookie. All is welcomed. But you're insulting people. You're being rude. Oh, you sure can. Hold on. Let me. I thought my. Hold on, love bucks. All messages are visible. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, what is this? I'm over here pushing buttons, y'all. Please don't mind me. I don't know what I'm doing for real. Ooh, what is this? Robert, you sure can. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know why I just did this. No, hold on. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to do whatever. I don't know what I done did, but anywho. So, boom. So that was the first part. We can be friends. No need to argue. Why are you so annoying, bro? Robert, yes, you can. On my page, if you look on my page, it should have my cash app up there. All right. So the second question was for my fathers is, if you have a child with someone, right? And of course, their lifestyle does not you feel like their lifestyle is not what you see, for your kids or whatever. I don't give a yo. Can somebody block this mother? You didn't pay for my nails, so it wouldn't even fucking matter, right? Let me add a moderator because you gotta go. You're a fucking weirdo. Yeah, no, you're done. Um, Tell my no, please be nice. I don't have time for that. Could you do me a solid? Can you mute that real quick? Put my Is it muted? I think the mute button is on the side over here on this screen. Yeah, we're on there being rude, and I don't have time for that. That's not nice. 'Cause I'm not being mean to nobody. I'm just on there just chatting, having a regular. You muted it? Can you put my cat? I think I just made Robert the mediator. All right, I think I did. Hold on, I gotta plug in my charger. Okay. Um. So hopefully that. Yeah, baby. No, I took it off me. Yeah, I think I took it off. See, hopefully it'll. Yeah, there you go. All right, thanks, Robert. I appreciate you. Um. Let me see. Did you do what I asked you to do? Where? I don't see it. He's muted. It's probably will be soon. No, no, no. Okay, so now the second question for my fathers is right, because I know if you heard the first part. Please leave your comments, in the comment section. I mean, and give me your honest opinion. If you feel like I should have handled the situation differently, then by all means tell me. I'm not for not being able to take Hi, Gracie. Shout out to Gracie. She's under Dan. You're so nice too, Gracie. Um, so if you felt like, my opinion on a father's role is out of line, then tell me. Like, tell me what that should look like. And a lot of times people don't know how to be fathers because they never had a father, right? You know what I mean? A lot of times that's not a thing for people. It's like, how can I expect him to know the right thing to do if he's never had a father? Very welcome. Very welcome. All right. So my second question is this. Um, you have a baby with someone, you don't like their lifestyle. You have one child with them. This child is a girl child, right? Um, you've heard rumors, you've heard this, you've heard that, but none of it's true. So you're angry because you're no longer with this person. And so now you start to have conversations with your girl child. She's of age, so these conversations that you're having about this girl's mother is not appropriate conversations. Hi, crazy about gaming. How are you? Um, those conversations are really humiliating, degrading. So, anyway, more of the story. One of my children have a conversation with their father. Their father says to my child, somewhere along the lines of prostitution and all of this nonsense. And I was so shocked when I heard it. I will not say names or, it's really not important. I was told that I moved away to prostitute. I moved away for a career, um, to work for the child welfare system, not for prostitution. But that is not something I needed to explain to anybody, right? Um, and I'm like, where are you? But to have this conversation, okay, bye. See you later. But to have this conversation with your only child, that is a girl child, to bash her mother because of some ill feelings that you have towards the mother, is crazy work to me. I was so offended. I really wanted to get on Facebook and make a whole post and show out, call names and itty bitty committee crews and call everybody in the family out. But that is so low vibing of me, right? Because if I act in that manner, right? Have a nice day. If I act in that manner, then it would only prove that I'm this low vibrational person and I'm not who I say I am, you know? And people will do things to get you out of your element, to make you have a reaction to certain things. And I didn't want to react at that time that it was being said to me because I wanted to my child to understand I should be, yeah. I wanted my child to understand that none of this was true and I handled it a different way. I didn't want her to, see me all ratchet and ghetto. Like that's just not how you do things. Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Dan. Um, so I didn't want to do things that way. So I had to calm myself down first of all, because I was livid. I was livid. I was like, the audacity. You have no motion for real. You have no motion for real. And for you to say something as degrading, all right, I got you. I got you. All right, I'll see you tomorrow, Robert. Um, if as so degrading, like, and it's so crazy because me thinking we have a good co-parenting relationship, I'm not thinking that this man is literally behind my back, him and his little minions are like talking crap about me to my kids. I would have never thought in a million years because I really hold this person at high regards, right? So it's like, damn, you out of all people would say something, you. So then I started whipping out pay stubs and yeah, yeah, pay stubs, baby. Numbers don't lie. Hours don't lie. I'm busting 40 plus hours a week. Hours don't lie. Them pay stubs never lie. So none of that, all of that mess that you did made up in your head about me is false. But you ran with a narrative and then you told our kid this shit. She's the only kid and she's a girl. I mean, it would have been even worse if it wasn't you telling one of my sons this shit. But my daughter knows me. And the crazy shit is, I'm glad she does know me. So she know. Yeah, exactly. I'm glad she does know me. So she knows that I don't move like that. Like that's not, I don't conduct myself like that because I have daughters. Not that I can't, because I'm grown and I do what I please with my body, mind, spirit, or soul, right? Because it belongs to moi. But I don't do that. It's not even, that's never been my thing. People can assume what they want to assume, right? I can't hold you accountable for your assumptions. I can only hold me accountable for what I keep allowing you to believe, right? What I condone. And I'm not condoning none of that shit. I do not sell anything besides my books, clothes, short poems, plays. Like, I don't know how people come up with this, but to tell my kids something like that is so below me and so degrading. And I've lost so much respect for this person. This person I wouldn't blow this motherfucker out if he was on fire. And that's just being real. You don't get to downplay me. All the hard work I've put in, all the hard work I've put in to make myself in my purse who I am today, to work on my career. You try to discredit that by saying I'm this and I'm that. I've been celibate 3 years. And if I was doing any of that, you're broke. I would have never even slept with you. So let's not. If that is the case, you know. But is that an appropriate conversation to have with your 12 or 13-year-old, your 14-year-old, your 15-year-old? Is it appropriate conversation to have with any of your children? Secondly, if that's how you felt, that ain't a conversation you supposed to have with any kid, period. Right? Let alone your only child. It's like you were trying to make her go against me or something, which is never gonna happen. So it's like, excuse me, y'all. How would you handle that situation? Why was that even a conversation being had? And then my daughter feels like now she's at a tug of war. Because now I don't, it's like if I tell you something, you're gonna go back and you're gonna talk about my mom, then you'll expect me to take your side. It's like, and I don't want to do that to her. That's a lot of pressure for a baby. That's why I said, I really wanted to cuss. I really wanted to, but it's like, what is gonna happen to her? Because she still has to deal. This is her other side of her family. She still has to deal with these people. And I'm being polite. That's not the first time she's come back and told me things that these people have said about me. People I've never even met. People that have heard stories, because it's their stories, his story, her story, have heard stories about me and just ran with it, right? Don't know me from a can of paint. Ain't never, I'm sorry, ain't never had ain't never had a conversation with me, right? And they just coming up with shit. So they don't know me. So they just chatting. So they jump on this bandwagon of a bunch of fucking haters, and now everybody hates me, and they don't even know me. Have not sat in a room with me, have not sat at a table with me, have not had a conversation with me. And this is why God constantly blesses me. He constantly blesses me, constantly. How are you blessed on oxygen? Because I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm blessed to be still here. You know what I mean? It's like you wanted me out of the picture. You thought the oxygen thing was gonna take. It's not gonna take me out. My lungs went from 30% to 90%. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Yes, I am sick. I have sarcoidosis. The same thing Bernie Mac had. That's what he passed away from. I got it 9 months ago. You know what I mean? It's something new to me. I'm working with it. I ain't gonna let it make me feel, At first, people was trying to make me feel some type of way about it. I was just getting out the hospital, or the medicine they had me on had them blew me up, And this is why when people do the fat jokes, I don't care about that. I've been plus size my entire life. I really hold this plus size shit down, so it don't bother me, right? But don't try to make me feel bad about me being sick, because just like this, it can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. I went to work every day. You hear me? Every day I get up, make sure my kids to school. I go to work. They go to school. We get home at the same time. That was our all routine. Schoolwork, schoolwork, schoolwork. And this one day I came in, I could not breathe. It felt like a fire truck was sitting on my chest. And my kids rushed me to the hospital. Had I not went, I would have been dead. So this is me getting back to me being normal. This is me trying to function around this newfound friend of mine. You know what I mean? I went to the doctor's last like 2 weeks ago, and my lungs went from 30% to 90. So I'm on to something. I'm on to something. I'm all right. I'm working on it. But people will want you to feel some type of way about it. And I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna feel no type of way about this. Because God takes me through a lot of things that He know I can get through. And that way when somebody else is going through the process, I could be right there to help. You know what I mean? So this is what that is. And a lot of people don't know about sarcoidosis. It's more of a how would I say this? It's hard to diagnose, and it's for minorities. Only minorities can get it. Like only black people, black women mostly, Hispanics. It's not a everybody's disorder. It's just a disease. It's a minor, so not everybody can get it, but not everybody know about it. And it's hard to so I try to keep the liquid out my lungs, infection out my lungs, and keep my organs from swelling up. Yeah. So that's the just of that. I don't want to make this live about that because this ain't that. But just adjust to be mindful who you had your children with. And just because you think y'all co-parenting, because I really thought I did not think we had no beef, yo. It was so crazy. And I really genuinely love this person wholeheartedly. Even though we wasn't in a relationship, this was just my child's father. The role he played in my life was a significant role, right? And just because we didn't work out didn't mean that we had to beef like gang rivals. It just didn't work out, right? So I'm not thinking in my head, we cool, everything is cordial. You do what you do for my kid, I do what I do for my kid. We come together, we raise this kid. We've been doing it like that 14 years, right? So it's like now all of a sudden you get a little shady. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I just don't like that. I don't deal with low vibrational people. Like and I don't like dealing with people that make you feel like, say if you call somebody on the other side, hey, she needs school supplies, even though just an example, she doesn't need school supplies. She needs school supplies. They make it like as if, oh, I'm going out of my way to do such a thing. What happened to the village? What happened to the village? I shouldn't have to pull teeth to get a pencil. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's what yeah, 14. That's what they thought. I had to get the surgery done where they put me to sleep with a thing on my throat, put dye in my stomach or something to light up my lungs to see. I don't know, child. But they was trying to say that I had cancer in both of my lungs. But it wasn't cancer, thank God. It wasn't cancer. So I'm cool. We trying to get it together. There is no cure. So what they do is they pretty much put a band-aid on it. They put a band-aid on it. So I'm doing like home remedies. I do a lot of natural stuff like the ginger shots and shit like that. Yeah. So anywho, fatherly advice on any one of those subjects, those topics. Um, is that appropriate conversation to have with your kid? And how would you approach the situation I know, right? I was scared. I was terrified. I ain't gonna lie to you. That process right there was a time in my life, man. I learned so much within because I've only been like this 9, 10 months, maybe. I think not like 9, 10 months now. And oh man, the process. I learned so much in that process, man. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about people, humanity, health. Man, I learned a lot. So I'm still working on me, and I'm still, I'm getting there. I'm a lot stronger. What's up, big baby? Um, so yeah, that's the just. So, guys, I love you. For those who tuned in, I will probably tap in again tomorrow because I'm just getting back off vacation. And that jacuzzi and that pool got my chest like, so I'm trying to recuperate. My genius ass left my antibiotics for a whole week. You know, left my antibiotics for a whole week. So today, it's the first day I actually got them back in my system. So I'm kind of like dragging a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna log off, but I really want your opinions. I'm gonna go back and check the comments. Please, leave the comment because I want to know your opinion. Am I wrong? Is that a conversation you're supposed to have with your kid? What does that conversation look like? And for those who wanted to donate to my channel, to me for any reason, not saying you have to, because you don't. My cash app is um in the comments because I know somebody asked me could they donate to my channel earlier, and I just couldn't put it in at the time. So if you see it, it's definitely what is it? Yeah, but it's look at your phone. How your phone did? Hold on. I can't see it from here, huh? They go get Fefe phone. Um, so that'll be in the comments, in the comment section. I do want some rebuttal. I'm all for the I don't really like to argue, but I'm all for the like let's go back and forth and figure out our differences. I think I'm gonna go tomorrow on the topic of um demasculation. I think because that's a big thing too. A lot of us women, and it's on a women's perspective, and I'm gonna have the guys chime in then because a lot of times we don't let y'all really say too much, and that's why mental health is at an all time high. Uh oh, you better go get that screen fixed. Them screens be costing, especially what kind of phone you got. It depends on what kind of phone you got. Now, you might be good if it's an Android, but if it's an iPhone, good luck with that one. You probably better off replacing the phone. Yeah, demasculating man and mental health, all that good stuff. So we'll probably what's up, baby? We'll probably chime into that tomorrow because that's a big thing, and I think we need to. How do we fix us? We fix us from the inside, right? We definitely fix us from the inside. So my cash app is in the comments. Tomorrow, chime in with me. I'll probably be live, probably again around the same time tomorrow. Um, leave your comments, please. And I'm not here to bash nobody. It wasn't to bash none of them or I hate their guts. This ain't that. There's lessons and everything. I turn everything that's supposed to be something to harm or hurt or cause discomfort. I turn that into something, to a form of healing. So let's learn from it, right? What can we do going forward? Because I'm not having no more kids, but just in case I can help somebody else, let's do that. Fams, it was good. It was good. It was good to see y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Like is free. A share is free. Subscribe is free. All that shit is free. Now, if you Samsung is kind of expensive now, Robert. You running neck and neck with iPhone for river. Um, all those things are free. You like my content, you go down my page. I'm lively talking about a lot of stuff. I'll be bullshitting some days and some days I'm teaching, but either day, you'll get a message. Either day, you'll get a lesson, you'll get a message. Baby, what is you over here doing? At this point, I Bob the Builder. What are you doing, hon? Anywho, all right, love y'all. Bye.